Today we're going over our top 3 3x3s, all for under $25. I'll go over how they actually feel, which one I'd choose, and a little bit of a setup to get that much more out of the performance. But before we get started, let's go over a couple of honorable mentions, just a couple of cubes that didn't quite make our list. First up is the YuLong V2 Lite. This is a pretty solid cube with magnets and a price tag of only $6.95. But the cube has a strange issue where the turns feel very loose and fast, but the tensions are actually quite tight. The corner cutting really just isn't great, and it often leads to a lot of catching and lockups. The next cube that didn't quite make the list is the RS3 M 2020. Another truly solid cube with great performance, and was considered to be one of the best budget cubes of all time when it released. But that was 5 years ago, and on our list might be one of its successors. Moving on to our main list, the first cube up is the YuLong V2 Clicky. As the name implies, this cube has a very prominent clicky sound, which could be annoying or satisfying depending on how you look at it. This cube is also magnetic and has UV coating. As for performance, it's pretty good with a smooth turning feel, snappy magnets, and solid corner cutting, coming in at over 45 degrees forward and line to line for reverse. This cube, however, is a little blocky, which can lead to some catching and lockups, but coming in at $9.95, this is a great option for a budget cube. And if the clickiness isn't quite your thing, there's also a normal version where it doesn't click at all. For a quick setup to get some improved performance out of this cube, I would suggest loosening it by about a quarter turn. The idea here is to try and reduce some of the catching and lockups without losing too much stability. And for lube, I'd add some Martian to mainly maintain the speed and also give it a bit of a smoother feel by reducing some of that plastic on plastic friction. Next up on our list is the RS3 M V5, and this version comes with magnets, maglev, a dual adjustment system, a ball core, UV coating, and a cool little robot buddy. The performance on this cube out of the box is incredible. It's smooth, fast, has a good magnetic strength, along with minimal catching and lockups. And if the cube feels a little fast or too flexible, it has an easy to use adjustment system to help pinpoint the exact feel you want from this cube. The corner cutting is pretty comfortably over 45 degrees forward and about line to line for reverse. This is definitely a go-to option for a lot of people, especially those who like to do one-handed solving. And for $24.95, this is definitely a cube I would suggest getting. And for a good starter setup, I find that the tensions are fine, but I will change the adjustment system. Just use this tool found in the box and turn it counterclockwise until you hear 4 clicks. And you'll want to do that on all the sides of the cube. Then take some Martian or maybe Lunar if you want to use this cube for one-handed, and just add a few drops. Using Martian will add some smoothness and control to the cube, while using Lunar will be pretty similar, but it'll add some speed and just kind of make the cube feel a bit lighter overall. And for the last cube on our list, we have the QiYi M Pro V2 Pioneer. This cube comes with magnets, maglev, core magnets, UV coating, and a semi-toolless adjustment system. The performance is definitely good with a turning feel that's actually pretty similar to the YuLong V2. It's smooth, has a snappy magnetic feel, but it's a bit more flexible, which helps to reduce that blocky feel and minimize catching and lockups. The turning also feels lighter, meaning it takes less effort to move each layer. And the corner cutting is the same as our last 2 cubes, coming in at over 45 degrees forward and line to line for reverse. The only downside with this cube comes in the form of its auto alignment, which is the cube completing a turn automatically without having any assistance. The auto alignment is pretty strong and kind of feels a bit invasive. Every so often, the layer will auto align and I'll feel like I missed the turn. So I'll instinctively try to make the turn again, but since the cube already auto aligned, I'm just making unnecessary moves at that point. But overall, it's a really good cube, especially for $15.95. For the setup of this cube, I'd probably tighten the screw by about a quarter turn on each side and set the red ring to 9. As for the lube, I'd probably go with a pretty light amount of Galaxy. The cube itself is pretty light and fast out of the box, and a small bit of Galaxy will help to make the cube feel controllable without losing a ton of speed. So out of all of our options here, which cube should you buy? If you're looking for something cheap with good performance and you're not really too worried about it getting banged up or anything like that, then the YuLong V2 is definitely a good pick. if you're looking for something with all the features at a relatively low cost and is a bit more focused on speed, then I would recommend the QiYi M Pro V2. But if you want a cube with all the features, high performance, balanced feel, and is great for solving both one-handed and two-handed, then I would definitely recommend the RS3 M V5. And of course, I've linked each cube and the lube I would recommend for each one in the description below. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.